Her name was Rita.
She said, "Baya, this road is not correct." He didn't reply, just increased speed. Her phone lost signal. No network, no data, no map. The road became empty. No shops, no lights, just trees. "Stop the car, I want to get down!" The driver finally spoke, not turning his head. "You already got down." She looked at the mirror. Back seat was empty. No bag, no jacket, no her. She screamed and suddenly woke up, in her bed, sweating, breathing, alive. Her phone was on the table. One notification from Uber. "Your ride has been completed. Thank you for traveling." Time, 2:43 a.m. She checked the route history. The drop location was not her house. It was a forest area, 20 kilometers away.
A boy named Kunal moved into a PG. One roommate. Silent guy. Name, Samir. Samir never slept, never used his bed, just sat on his chair, facing the wall, all night. Kunal thought he was studying, until one night he woke at 4 a.m. and saw Samir standing next to his bed, staring at him.
"Oh, what are you doing?"
Samir replied, "You were talking in your sleep." Kunal said, "What was I saying?" Samir smiled. "My name."
Next morning, Kunal complained. The owner looked confused. "There is no Samir in that room." They checked records. No such person. No ID, no payment, no entry. At night, Kunal slept with lights on. At 3 a.m., he heard a chair move. He opened his eyes. The chair was facing him, and written on the wall, in black marker, was his name. Over and over and over. This one is from a security guard. Night shift, office building, nothing unusual. At 2:30 a.m., motion alert, camera 4, parking basement. He checked. A man was standing between cars, not moving, just staring at the camera for 40 minutes. Didn't blink, didn't shift, didn't breathe. The guard zoomed in. The man had no face, just skin, smooth. No eyes, no nose, no mouth. Then the man raised his hand and pointed, not at the camera, at something behind the camera. The guard slowly turned his head. Behind him, the control room door was open, and muddy footprints were coming inside. Final story. The voice note I should never have heard. This one is mine. A listener sent me a voice note. Said it was recorded by accident while he was sleeping. I played it. It started with silence, then breathing, then my voice. Not similar, not copied. Exact. "You're listening to this." My stomach dropped. I never recorded that. Then another voice, not human, not male or female. "He hears us." And then, my voice again. "Please, don't use my voice." File ended. My phone kept playing, even after the audio finished, just breathing, right next to the mic. If you're listening to this right now, and you feel uncomfortable, and your room suddenly feels quiet, it's normal. Because every story I told you came from someone who thought, it's probably nothing. Until it wasn't. This one was sent to me by a girl named Neha. She said she didn't want her real name used, because she was scared. The person might still be watching. Neha had a long-distance boyfriend, 3 years, daily calls, video chats, late-night voice notes. His name was Karthik. One night, they had a small fight, nothing serious, just tired words. She went to sleep without saying goodnight. The next morning, she woke up to 47 missed calls from Karthik. Messages. Please answer. Something is wrong. I think someone is in my room. She tried calling back, no answer. She checked his last online status. 2:13 a.m. online. Never changed. Not offline. Not last seen. Just online for hours. She contacted his roommate. The roommate said, "Bro, Karthik left the city last night." Neha felt cold. "He didn't tell me." Roommate replied, he didn't take his phone either. That night, at exactly 2:13 a.m., Neha's phone vibrated. Message from Karthik. "I'm still here." She replied instantly, "Where are you?" 3 dots appeared, and stopped, and appeared again. Then his message came. "In my room." She video called him. No answer. She sent another message. "Turn on camera." He replied, "You won't like what you see." She called again. This time, he picked up. The camera turned on. The room was dark, no lights, no face, just heavy breathing. Then she saw something. In the corner of the screen, a reflection on the cupboard mirror. Someone was standing behind the phone. Not Karthik. Taller, too thin, head slightly tilted, watching the screen, watching her. She screamed. Call ended. Neha tried calling his family. They went to his apartment. The door was locked from inside. They broke it. The room was empty. No body, no blood, no signs of struggle. Only his phone, lying on the bed, still unlocked, still online. That night, Neha blocked his number, deleted chats, deleted photos. She tried to forget. 3 days later, at 2:13 a.m., her phone vibrated again. From an unknown number, just one message. "You forgot to say goodnight." She didn't reply. She turned her phone face down, tried to sleep. At 3 a.m., her phone started playing a video on its own. No app open, no notification, just a video. It was her, sleeping, recorded from inside her room, from the corner where her cupboard mirror was. Neha never told me what happened after that. She just ended her message with, "If someone you love suddenly stays online forever, don't wait for a reply, because something else might already be using their account."
This one came from a couple who had just shifted into a rented house. New area, cheap rent, too good for the location. They thought they got lucky. They didn't ask why the previous family left. First week was normal. No sounds, no shadows, no weird dreams. Until the knocking started. Not on the door, on the walls. At exactly 1:40 a.m., 3 slow knocks from inside the bedroom wall. Knock, knock, knock. The husband thought it was plumbing. He knocked back. Knock, knock, knock. The wall replied, immediately. Same pattern. He laughed. Bhai, koi bacha hoga. The wife didn't laugh, because the knocking started again. This time, from the ceiling. They checked the terrace. Empty. No water tank noise, no animals, no neighbors above. Just silence. That night, the wife heard whispering from the cupboard. Not loud, not clear, just murmurs, like someone trying to speak without using their mouth. She opened the cupboard. Inside were their clothes, but one extra thing. A pair of old shoes, not theirs, covered in dust. Next morning, they asked the landlord. The landlord went quiet and said, "The last tenant had a son.
He used to knock on walls while playing. They say he disappeared inside the house.
That night, the knocking returned. Now, it wasn't from the wall. It was from under the bed. The husband slowly bent down, looked under, saw nothing. Then he heard it, right next to his ear, from inside the mattress. Knock back. He jumped up. The bed started shaking. The knocking became faster, angrier, like something trapped was trying to come out. The lights went off. In the darkness, the wife felt something touch her leg. Small fingers, cold, gripping her ankle. They ran out of the house barefoot, left everything, keys, phones, wallet. They never went back. 3 weeks later, a new family moved in. On the first night, the neighbors heard knocking from inside the walls and a child's voice saying,
Someone finally came to play.
This was sent by a girl who worked in a beauty salon. She used to close shop alone. One big mirror, one small back room. One night, while cleaning, she saw something strange. Her reflection blinked. She hadn't. She waved. The reflection waved back, slower, like it was delayed by a second. She thought it was tired eyes, until her phone rang. Caller ID, unknown. She answered.
Hello?
Her own voice replied from the phone.
Don't turn around.
She froze. The reflection smiled, but her real face didn't. The voice on the phone said,
I'm practicing. Soon I'll go out. You'll stay here.
The reflection raised its hand, touched the mirror from inside. Glass rippled like water. She dropped the phone and ran, didn't look back, didn't close the shop, just ran. Next day, the salon owner checked CCTV. The footage showed her running out. But after she left, someone else walked out too, from the mirror, wearing her face perfectly. This one came from a gamer, late-night streamer, always wore headphones, always heard background noise. One night, while streaming, his chat started spamming. Who is talking behind you? He replied, No one. They said, We can hear breathing. He removed his headphones. Silence. Put them back on. Breathing returned. Not from Mike. From inside the headphones. A voice whispered, Don't remove them again. You might hear me without them. He laughed nervously. Then the voice said his full name, including his middle name, which he never shared online. He threw the headphones away. He landed on the bed, still playing sound, still breathing. He unplugged his PC. Power off, internet off, room silent. Then the breathing started again, from inside his head, not the headphones. He sent me one last message. I think I wore them too long. They're not outside anymore. They're inside. And that's the thing about real scary stories. They don't end with screams. They don't end with ghosts. They end with a simple thought. What if it's already happening to me, and I just haven't noticed yet? This is the last story I will ever tell. Not because I ran out of submissions, not because people stopped sending them, because this one includes you. A week ago, I received an email. No subject line, no name, just one attachment. File name, final_recording.wav. I almost deleted it. Curiosity is a dangerous thing, so I played it. At first, there was only silence. Then,
breathing. Slow, deep, close to the mic. Then a voice. Not male, not female, not young, not old, just empty. You collect stories about fear. Yes. You think they're separate. No, they're not. I tried to pause the file. It didn't stop. I tried to close the app. The voice continued. From my speakers, from my room, from my walls. The voice said, "You believe horror is about ghosts. You believe it's about strangers. You believe it's about accidents. It's not. It's about patterns, about habits, about the way humans listen. You scroll at night. You wear headphones. You like stories that feel real. You prefer the lights off. You think you're alone." My chest felt tight because every line was true. The voice continued. Every story you heard was real. The date girl, the dead friend, the Uber, the mirror, the house, the online boyfriend, the headphones. All of them happened. I said, "Who are you?" The voice replied, "We are what remains when fear is recorded, when attention is focused, when thousands of minds imagine the same thing." I felt something behind me. Not a presence, not a ghost, more like awareness. Like the room itself was listening. The voice said, "You don't understand yet. These stories don't spread fear. They teach it. Every time someone listens, they visualize, they imagine, they recreate. And when enough people imagine the same thing, it becomes a place." I asked, "Place for what?" The voice answered, "For attention, for thoughts that linger, for moments when the brain is half awake, half asleep." My lights flickered. My phone screen turned on its own, and I saw something. My email, draft folder, message being written, not by me, but from my account. Subject line, "True Scary Story, Part 10. I grabbed the phone. Text was typing itself. These are not urban legends. These are not creepypasta. These are real stories. It was copying me. My style, my words, my voice. The voice said, "You don't create the stories anymore. You just open the door." I realized something terrifying. I wasn't collecting horror. I was feeding it. Every listener, every viewer, every person who stayed till the end, they weren't just hearing stories. They were becoming part of the archive. The voice asked me one last question. "Do you know why the last story is always the scariest?" I said nothing. Because the last story is the one where the listener realizes they're not just listening anymore. They're being remembered. If you're still here, still listening, still in the dark, still curious, then congratulations. You've already been added to the file. And someday, someone will hear your story. And they'll think it's just another horror episode, until they notice it feels a little too familiar.